Arm leading versus body leading. Ooh, is it a war? Is it a battle of wills? Who really knows? But Joe and I are going to try to help you understand how we understand it because we use this language a lot while we're teaching.
So we know sometimes that arm leading has a bad rap, but we find that that's typically a teaching tool just to get leaders and followers to kind of stop doing stuff like this. And we totally get that. Like, we are not recommending to do that in your regular everyday social dancing.
On a technical level, we just call that bad arm leading. But good arm leading, we say, is good.
Yeah, so that's actually how we're going to think about things. Is it comfortable and is it functional?
So a simple example would be if I did a body lead, my arm is attached to my body and I'm moving backwards. And now I'm moving forward. So everything's moving as a unit. As soon as I lead a rock step where we move in opposite directions, we would call that more of a arm lead because I'm having to use my arm to get Joe to do something that I'm not doing with her because I'm doing something different. But that doesn't mean the energy isn't coming from my body. It doesn't mean I'm not initiating the push from my center and pushing off the floor. But to do anything really interesting and complicated in Lindy, having good arm lead technique can be very useful. I'm just going to be very extreme here, but I could just stand here and I'm only moving my arm and I'm leading Joe in these beautiful turns coming across my body. Now, I did move my hips slightly, so you could argue, wait a second, you're using some of the body lead. Of course, and this is where the lines start to blur. Like, what is really happening with what's going on? Can I really move my arm without moving my body? I would argue yes. For example, if I was in a Texas Tommy, that right there is nothing but an arm lead, right? There's no other body movement happening. And that's really effective. I would call the way I just led that a good arm lead.
Me too. And then from there, it can be a body lead because Kevin pushes on my body.
Yes, sorry. I was going to take you that way. Yeah.
Pushes on my body and then unwinds me. So the energy is going through my body. And if my arm wasn't there, I would still get the same information because of how it was led.
Now, if I was to yank Joe's arm here, I'm not going to do it. This is imaginary. If I was to pull just on Joe's arm, it would hurt. She's in an awkward position. She feels like she's getting arrested. We would call that a bad arm lead, because no one's interested in that. So when it really comes down to it, we don't really care exactly what you name it. What we care is, are you successfully leading and following in ways that are comfortable and effective for your dance?
Good arm leads are good. Bad arm leads are bad.